We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you this work already in progress. Hello, YouTube world. Benny here. It's currently Thursday, the 5th of May, 2022 at 8:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hello, thank you for tuning in. Please like and support. So what you're seeing in front of you, aside from the steering wheel of my car and my pants here to cover my legs, since I still got the shorts on, is the, what the heck do you call these things? The hands-free. This one's the kind that you mount up on the windshield with the suction cup. So work in progress is because, this is the part where it goes up to the, let's see if I can get this off of here again now. It might be quite hard. Well, it broke right in there. This is the pedestal. Okay, try to get slower at this, and bear with me as I'm learning how to do the video in here. So this is the pedestal. In here it's got to go 2 screws. It's pretty stiff up in there. I'll try and get it back out, but I got to set the camera down for a moment, so bear with me. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought. So I had to cut back the plastic. I just used a utility knife. I can get that too if I have to go to that level. Utility knife. This one's a Harbor Freight version, but anyone will work. Okay, so here's a utility knife. Let me see if I can get that in focus. There you go, Pittsburgh brand, utility knife, folding style. Okay, so I use the utility knife to, let me see if I can get it there, to cut back this synthetic material over this metal, which is very malleable, very bendable. That's really kind of the gist of this whole thing, is the suction cup, the bendable metal, the, what do you call that, ball and joint type socket going into here, and then these spreadable, this side's already broken, I can't even repair that yet for not knowing what plastic this is. This up top here, normally you could press that and that would release this bottom part. I opened it up, you see the screws here. I opened that up and I glued this up because my phone, I need it to sit up higher in the phone mount because of the way the buttons are for the power button. Well, obviously I can't show you the phone, but the power button is right kind of up in line here with the camera lens. So if I don't hold the phone higher up, and I'll flip it over so you know what I mean. Let me get better on there. If I don't hold the phone higher up, then the power button is going to be below this. Well, now this piece, as you can see, oh, hold on, I was in the focus on it, but there we go. This piece broke off. So in here, I put a piece of that Velcro type material or something similar to that, like a interlocking type plastic threads with the adhesive strip on the back. I didn't cut it yet, so it's very crude. It was just to give the initial testing. This stuff is super strong by comparison, but the adhesive really sucks. It's not strong enough. And so then I can use that to, I have a piece then on the back of the phone, like just pointing down here, right, roughly there on the phone, at that level of my phone, which is about, I'm going to figure about 5-6 inches in length. And so I can then get it to hold here by locking it into this, since this side is broken, and it kept slipping out because these cushions on both sides of that piece, which here is broken off, as you can see how strongly that's worn, it's indented, and I could not find anything to put in there in the short term. So I took this off, this backing material, which is this here, again, a way to help to grip the foam, a little bit of adhesion without an adhesive, and so that the adhesive strip, upside down, that the adhesive strip would hold on to here a little bit better. It's still tacky here, plus then for a weak tackiness on the back of the strip, that allows that to stay on there. So it's just the way, especially in these times, if you're on a lower budget, obviously, if not, well, then you're not going to be watching this unless you're just, thinking of a simple project you can do. Well, why not? Learn how to get more out of what you have. Then you have money available for other things. Okay, so back to this. What happened is in moving it around, try to get the focus on it there. There we go. I've already cut this off. I used the drill, just a portable drill because I'm in the car. So I used the drill, not with this drill bit. That's set up for the next operation here, drilling that. And I had a cut-off grinding wheel, and I used that to give myself a clean start on the metal there, so that I can get a clean start on the end of it, so that I can take that, and hopefully I'm going to get better at this here, this one-handedness that everyone seems to do so diligently that I'm not exactly so graced at yet. And then you can be able to slide it into the pedestal base here, and by having cut this back, it gives you enough room to jam it all the way down into the bottom of it, which you can then gauge, because you see that little hole there, not this slot where you see my finger, putting my finger in and out. There's not that one, but the small one. I actually poked that open so I could see to make sure that in the previous time I repaired, this is my second time repairing this already. So you can see some of the color maybe of my hand through there. Let me see. See it? Yeah, you can see some of my skin through there. See it? There you go. That's the hole you're going to use as your reference. That's the bottom of this pedestal here. And so I'm going to see how to slide it in there now. I'll have to put the camera down for a little bit maybe. And see if I can get that to, again, slide up into there. The metal is one thing, but then the rubber material around the metal, it likes to get in the way. There we go. Now it's going up there. Okay, so now I want to realign that for the already somewhat existing shape, so that it's going to be in line with how to hang it up on the window with the suction cup. So it's a little bit, I'm going to see if I can actually bend it some more, but we'll have to check that again later. There you go. Okay, so there is sort of kind of the bend. Let me get the camera again and see if we are all the way up there. Okay, so now the reason to look into the bottom, now you can see the metal there, and you can see the metal in the screw holes there. Those are screw holes. Let me get it. There we go. Those are screw holes, and we're going to be drilling those out. There's the bottom, so you know it's all the way down into the bottom. That's why I had to get a clean cut on the metal so I could seat it down as far as possible. Reason being, that bottom screw hole, if you look there, the bottom screw hole doesn't leave as much material on the end of it to be able to get that screw in there. And over time, when you bend the metal here to put it up against the windshield, it will break the holes from the screw because it's just too soft of a material. So, you know, X amount of times you're going to be able to redo this. This is now my second time redoing it. The top side has never broken yet, but the bottom side definitely does, because mostly you're doing your bending from about here and up, so you end up bending, and this breaks the screw holes then, and then you have to redo it. The metal actually breaks. All right, so I am going to see now. I've already got the drill bit in there. I don't know that that's the exact size for the screw, but let's see if I can get this somehow wrapped around here to be able to use that camera lens, because it's so much more, it's a better quality lens on the back side. I'm not sure why they do it that way, but the front-facing one is not as good. Okay, so there we go. I don't know how long I'll hold the power together. Again, bear with me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and support. And eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to get some monetary support so I can afford to do more things. And I like to make the stuff myself. I hate buying. So here are the two screws. You can see their approximate length. Let me take a look at them through the camera. It distorts me. I'm going to say that's about, 5/16 of an inch in length, and maybe 3/32 in diameter. The drill bit I put in there says 3/32, as in the from the drill index, came out of the slot of 3/32, but I can't be 100% certain that I didn't. And I hope the volume's coming across, because I got the camera. Realizing now I don't have an external microphone, of course, so the microphone's pointing in towards the this side. So hopefully I'm speaking loud enough that you can still hear me. I know it can be very frustrating if you make an okay video, but then the audio sucks. All right, so there's where those two screws have got to go into. So without further ado, because this is like lengthy, so a lot of jibber jabber. I'm not good at speeding it up when I have to try to talk my way through it. Okay, so again, let me get the drill here. Hopefully I don't lose this. Here is the drill bit. This is a Bauer brand, so everything's going to be a little bit upside down. This is a Harbor Freight. Let me get the board also, so I don't end up drilling into my leg. Notorious for being slightly possessed, and so I'm just going to set those pieces back up on the dash so I don't lose them all, and they don't need to be there, and even the screws don't need to be there. Now, what I did do, I'll set it right over there. What I did do was, just take the drill and then take your screw and line it up with the end of it. See if I can get it down a little bit lower. Maybe that's better. Just to compare. And so the best I could see looking at the diameter of it, not from this angle, but looking at from the other angle, that it still seemed like it was under the outer width of the threads, because I don't want to drill the exact size of the screw. So let's hope I'm correct on that. I'll drill one and then check it, make sure that it's not too big of a drill bit. Okay, so just a board cut off. I got the pants draping over my leg here to make sure I don't cut myself as much, or at all, hopefully. Now, I'm questioning on how to clamp this. Everything's a little bit tighter when you're sitting down in the car seat. But, for those of you who think you can't do a lot because, I don't have a workshop, well, let me show you. I worked on my rotors for my brakes here in the car, grinding them down, painting in the car, using the heater to warm up stuff. The paint job, unfortunately, didn't work too well, but yes, you can actually do quite a bit of work in the driver's seat of your car. I can attest to that from first-hand experience. And even get better at your videos over time, although right now I'm not as good as I'd like to be. Now, this is going to get a little bit difficult here. I don't think I'll be able to get it on there at the same time. Let me check and see if I can move the camera somehow. It's already, oh God, it's broken. All right, well, that's a real big bummer. Breaking in progress there. I'll see if I can literally put it into the steering wheel here. That's the best I'm going to be able to give you now. This little crappy stand from Micro Center broke. So I'm just going to recheck in the bottom, make sure that's all the way down, and see if I can get a way to clamp it here. I thought I had a vice grips. If I can at least clamp the stem, I guess I would call that, into the base, then hopefully if I can get past that, as in get the chuck drill bit past the vice grips, then I can, then I should be able to hold the position for the first screw and get the first screw in there so that it won't be shifting the hole around on me because it's just too small of a space. Let me check my time here. We have got now up to 8:19. So unfortunately, this is going to take longer. Thank you for bearing with me. Oh boy, which way am I going to get that? All right, so I'm not going to get that exactly how I wanted to, but we're going to try it. All right, so I don't know how I'll get this on here now. Let me check again, make sure I didn't slip or move. It seems like I'm all the way down. Okay, good. All right, so what I've done is taken the vice grips, the pedestal, and the stem, trying to squeeze it around the stem so hopefully that it won't move while I'm trying to drill it. Okay, this is going to look a little bit difficult in that one, so I'm going to try to get this one first, and hopefully I'll get square in this alignment here. I am actually getting it on camera. Okay, so I don't have anything to ding it with. I'm going to start very slowly. It is a relatively soft metal, but I also want to get it aligned. So what I'll end up doing probably is wherever it sits, then I'll have to move it. So I'm not drilling into the plastic and only into the metal. I wouldn't recommend this as your first drill because I'm just shaking it out then to get the chaff or whatever it's appropriate to call it. I wouldn't recommend this Bauer drill as your first drill because since the first turning it on, it stinks like crazy. And when you got to work in a confined space like this, it's, so much bad air in here. Let me recheck the bottom, make sure I haven't shifted. I'm not sure that I was able to get that properly pinched on there, so I don't want my hole shifting. That's the whole idea, is to keep the hole from shifting. Oh shoot. This time, unfortunately, I went completely through. Overshot my pace. That's why I should have turned it back down to 1, and I forgot to turn it back down to the first setting. At the top, hard to get it. I just turned it down now. I had it on 2. That's a clutch up top here. There's what it was on. That's number 2, and now it's on number 1. So unfortunately, I over drilled it now. As you can see, if I can get it there and hold it still, I went through the back side. So let's get that first screw and see what we can do on that. Okay, I'm just reaching over for the screw. So hopefully I'll still get lucky in it all. Let's try to tap that out of there. And that'll be able to... Did it pull it up? It might have pulled it up some. I'm not for sure on that. But try to get that little sucker down in there is no easy task. There we go. Okay, so you see I got it dropped in there. This is a, Phillips, of course, but I'm not sure what size this is. I don't think it's a number 2. I'm not sure what it is. Let me get that board out of the way. It's off to the side here somehow. It's the drawback of a magnetic tip. If the magnetism or the magnetic field is not correct, it pulls the screw off to the side. A real pisser. Okay, there we go. Okay, if I'm in luck, we're under. And then I can get a bite in there and then drive it in because it's a softer material. Am I still on there? Okay, there we go. We're still on. I'm trying to get better at my video making. And I don't know if I'll drill them bolts right away because I think I'm already over my time. Oh my god, I'm up to 17 minutes. Can you believe that? I don't know how to edit these guys, so I'm just putting them up relatively quickly. So hopefully you can, benefit from it. Obviously you can flip through the stuff as long as they don't, cut me off because they're too long. I guess it really doesn't matter then on the one side. Obviously this is not rocket science, but, for people who don't have a lot of money and something breaks, here's a little bit of glimmer of hope, or you can actually fix some of this crappy foreign junk. In this case, I think it's Chinese, but so many things straight out the stores breaking right out the packaging, or you can't even assemble some of the stuff like the sprayer from Harbor Freight. Just pure garbage. So there's 2 things to think about. You're supporting yourself when you're having a job in America, and 2, it's not only supporting yourself for the god-darn job, it's also supporting yourselves in terms of having natural order, real-life skills. So instead of all these charlatans trying to sell their different social bourgeois, then you're not going to be as adversely affected by that stuff. Okay, so now we're on 1. I've got it on 1 for the clutch, and even that, though I had it on 2 and 1, still it was too fast. So let me get that board back. I don't want to end up drilling into my leg. That went through too easily on that number 2 setting. So I guess I can just keep it going for now and upload it like this. I don't know if I got to make a brief description in there or not. I just want to get it up sometimes and get it done, practice with the impromptu. Realize again that I'm doing this in the car, so this is not like some kind of fancy shop. The point being then that if I can do this and you got a home, or vice versa, if you're in the car, these are simple little projects you can do if you don't feel like you're very handy. This is perhaps a very great way to start. Nothing fancy, but you're taking back your... In fact, I'm going to put it on backwards and see if I can nick it. Get a divot in there. Okay, I think I got it. So I can try to line my hole. And, geez, it doesn't really afford me much for trying to get past the camera. And let me see the other way. how that will do. Can I get it that way any better? Not for sure. Okay, maybe I can get in there that way. Trying to get in there underneath the camera, the little space between where I've got it shoved in the space or notch of the steering wheel, since the screw and the whatchamacallit on that flexible wire type of mini tripod. The legs are wrapped around the steering wheel, but the screw and the screw nut itself are plastic, so it broke. Unfortunately, right in progress. Again, you know, the very reason why anything you can take as a small project, if you don't feel you're handy, well then by golly, this is a good thing to do, is, you know, get yourself comfortable. You were going to throw it away anyhow, so why not? And, you know, to do more projects, you can build up your tools over time. I'm going to stop and see if I'm getting an alignment on that. I think I'm probably off, but you know, it'll last for a while. Based upon the last repair, it's going to last for a little while. It really depends on how much you bend it to try to adjust it, how many times you've had the thing down. Or in this case, the suction cup is a real pain in the wazoo. It does not like to stay up there. All right, here we go again. Got to use my jaw to help hold it in place, but then I got to breathe that next. It smells like the shellac or varnish on the motor windings burning. That's why I say don't buy this as your first one. They've got other brands, but I can't tell you which one to get. I'm surprised it's held up this long for, you know, stinking as long as it has. I think I bought it last fall, but you know, that stuff makes you sick. There's just no two ways about it. The smell of the plastic alone. What I'm trying not to do is not to go through the into the plastic again. So I'm trying to get only into the metal and just deep enough to I think that might have gone through now. Yepper. And however, if you look at the backside now, this time I didn't come all the way through it, so that's good. It looks like those screws are not even long enough to go into there. Okay, and don't forget to put the detent between reverse and forward. Just a little safety measure. Let me get some light here so I can find that other screw. I hope you're still hearing me okay. Thank you for bearing with me. It's not that this is rocket science. It's just a little bit difficult to work in such a small space here inside the car. I'm going to shove that off to the side. And I think I can release the vice grips now, since I got the first screw already in there. And again, on one side, it's going to seem like, oh my God, so what? Well, you could say for the same reason, yeah, so what? Why not? Again, it's just a simple little thing to do to start. So it's a good starter project. And, you know, it'll take you through different light machining, I suppose you could say. You know, assembly. And every step you do that you get more confident in, it will open your doors to other projects. And once you get more projects under your belt, those of you that are relearning, you know, you might have traumatic injuries like me. You have to start somewhere and build back up again. I think I might be spinning on this screw. The screws might be getting a little bit stripped. That's in the screw heads. Okay. Nonetheless, that's now 2 screws in there. Get my fat finger out of the way. Actually, small finger. Okay, so you see, that way you're reset with that malleable metal. And I already realigned the shape somewhat. So we're not going to pull on there as much. I'm trying to realign the shape itself. free from the metal being in the pedestal, because those screws are not the strongest in the metal, surprisingly, that they break out. All right, let's do a reassembly on this. Now, I don't remember how the one piece was together. It's already broken, but it seems to still be working somewhat. So that's what I'm going with. All right. So here's your suction cup. Let me take that off. This is, still intact. This is the part that goes up onto the windshield. Here's the other side of it. I don't have any fancy names for it yet, but you can see that it becomes conical. You've got the shaft. It's got, there we go, it's got a hole drilled through it. Okay, and that's going to go for this piece here. I already have the pin driven out, obviously disassembling it prior to deciding to, why don't I just throw up a video on it? Maybe someone will be interested in it, Okay, so this will go over the top of the pedestal. This piece here, this suction cup with the stem mounted in it and the spring comes up from underneath. So now let me get it up in there. The hole seems to be centrally mounted, so you have to hold it up in there and you got to hold it with pressure. You might be able to get the vice grips to hold it up there, but I doubt it, because you really have to push up from the center to hold the tension up against the spring. And then you just want to try to, I think I got it out with the screwdriver. Yeah, the small screwdriver, so I pushed it out. You want to get your pin started. Oh, we'll get higher up here. There we go. You want to get that pin to be able to push it in there. If you got leathery skin, you won't feel it as much. If you don't, you're going to feel it a little bit. You just want to get it started in that, on the side of the slot there. And also noting which way that pole or tange is going with the cam action on this side. That's what causes it to lock. That's just, like a cam on your camshaft in the car. If you take a look at that, and I believe this would be called the pole or the tange, but I'm not 100% for sure on those terminologies, excuse me. Oops, there I go. I got it upside down, exactly the reason I'm going to show you. Okay, see if that, yeah, my finger, I'm going to have to move it with the screwdriver again. And so now that's going to be a little bit of an octopus operation. Got to get it up there and in far enough and hold it like that. And I believe it might have been this screwdriver here. Same one I was just using to screw the screws. Try to shove it into that first hole without cutting myself. Okay, and I think I got lucky. And you see on this side, it's got splines to it. And that's what locks it into the plastic. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Now the other side is smooth, so I mean, just come back to the other side and push it back a little bit. Okay, I hope I got that all on there. Yep. Okay, so there, somewhat flush. It hangs out a little bit. Now, I don't remember about this piece here. As you can see, this one's already broken off. I cannot recall what this function was there, so I apologize on that. But I've been using it like this. It is a pain in terms of the suction cup staying up on the windshield. It is very temperature sensitive. You can try breathing on it or putting a little bit of spit on it, water, whatever you're comfortable with. But just trying to breathe. But even so, once you put it up to the windshield and then push the locking or retaining clip, which what that does is it pulls the suction cup. As you can see, it's, maybe you can see it, maybe can't. Pulling that down towards the base or of the pedestal there, that locks it in by sucking up away from the window. But changes in temperature, it will cause it to break the adhesion, so it can be a real pain. But again, this is a project to learn how to do more for yourself, which costs you, especially if you've got some tools, relatively little. If you don't have tools, well, if you were planning on learning anyhow, you would have to invest. So you've only had a screwdriver there, a vice grips, and then the drill. The more expensive of them being the drill, and I did buy a separate battery. That is a 5, let me get that over there. There you can see it. That is a 5 amp hour battery. Now hopefully this is going to be able to be rotated. I'm sorry for the fact that it's on the side like that. Hopefully you'll all be able to rotate it when you are watching it. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, so I apologize for that in advance. Okay, so now you can see here's the base where they put the Velcro on there for the phone. And then we're going to go to the back. So your ball and socket, I got to take the screw back off, or otherwise that might be called a collet screw. And then you take that and ball and socket, put that over, put the ball in there. You can see it comes out. There's a little bit of tension. Wait. Because this is tapered here. And then it's slotted. So that's what allows you to be able to squeeze that around with that locking collar. I think that's called. I forget some of my terminology. So, just putting the locking collar over the ball and socket, holding it, lightly pressing it into the socket, and then you screw this on here. Eventually, I'll be looking to get maybe some metal, and then you just screw that up. Okay, and then you'll have to adjust it from there. Let me see. It's a little bit different than it was before, but really that doesn't matter necessarily so much. Let me try it up to the windshield now, and then I'll let you see it. Let's see if we're getting it. Okay, and there we are. And now I'm going to try to adjust it a little bit. Uh-oh, I got it the wrong way. Can you still hear me, y'all? Okay, let's get that flipped around. All right, so you can see, let me get the phone out of there, try to do it slowly. Okay, now it's back up on the window. All right, so same device. I just didn't have the, so I'm not sure if there's anything else I can show on that. Okay, and back up. Let's see if I can get it single-handed. And there it is. All right, so it's certainly not pretty. It's not perfect, but again, it's a starter project. Sorry it's so long, but again, I'm not the expert at making the videos. I'm more concentrating on trying to become an expert at different projects, and then I'll work on the videos as I go. All I have is whatever's on this phone, and this phone has been really awkward since I got it. Within like 2 weeks, the guys from AT&T screwed me over to put some kind of Shazam on me, and even though I tried to reset it 3 times, it's never worked right. It'll crash anywhere from 75% power and down when in a phone call if you click on the call. So the point being is I'm afraid to take on any apps. I saw the one guy's suggestion for the video apps, but I am so far behind on my account that I got to get into that, and I'm just trying to do this so I get more comfortable with making another opportunity for myself where I don't have to do just physical work, because I lost a lot of health now. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and support. Benny out. It's, again, today is Thursday, the 5th of May, 2022. Now 8:37, I think it was. Yeah, 8:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Ciao, ciao.